Today is what's the big deal about ginger. First of all, we always use ginger as a seasoning agent, especially when we're going to do any dishes that are sautéed. But more importantly, when you do raw juices, we can also use fresh ginger. What's so important about ginger is that ginger is from the old Egyptian line of fruits. The Bible talks about it, but more importantly, traditional Chinese medicine can trace it back for hundreds of years in terms of what it does for you. If you have a stomach problem, for instance, or if you're having difficulty sleeping at night, you simply take a piece of fresh ginger root and put it into a cup, add some warm water to it, and drink it as a tea. What that's going to do is it's going to calm your stomach problem down no matter what the cause of the problem is, because ginger specifically attacks all gastrointestinal disorders. If you've got something going on with the stomach, chances are it's something in your intestinal tract that is precipitating that problem. So what you want to do is just cut it. Now notice here that I've already sliced the ginger, but when you look at the ginger, you see the yellow appearance on the inside, but you also see that other color. That other color is the shell, the skin of the ginger, which is what you definitely want to include in whatever it is that you're doing, as well as putting it into your tea, your warm tea. Okay, because a lot of the healing properties are located in the skin of the ginger. Once you've sliced it in one direction, you definitely want to go back and slice it in the opposite direction, because ginger is extremely potent, okay? Which means, in other words, it's very strong. And some people really aren't accustomed to natural strong. They can do strong in terms of processed foods, but when you start dealing with the natural fragrances in ginger or fresh garlic, we have our garlic that we've already chopped here, you don't need a lot. If you were going to do just a small pineapple ginger or honey juice for one person, with say using a quarter of a pineapple and a tad bit of honey, that's about as much ginger as you need. When you start adding this much ginger to a dish, it's because you're going to be utilizing something like potatoes and carrots that have the ability to really absorb a lot of that potency. Okay, so just be very careful, but some people like it spicy, and that's what ginger does. It has the tendency to make it taste almost as if it has jalapeno peppers in it or something. So you want to stick with the ginger, but watch how you use it. It's always best to have a lot, and then just be able to add some more to it. So you start with a small amount. You have some already sliced and diced on the side as a backup, but then you kind of just taste your way through it. A lot of times people get a little confused when we're teaching them how to prepare foods, because they want to know, well, how much of this did you put in and how much of that did you put in it? I almost never stick with 1 cup of this or half a cup of that. I say that if you're going to actually change your lifestyle, you're going to have to get to a point where you're preparing food on a regular basis. And the more you do that, you'll begin to know what works for you, because we're all individuals, and your tongue is different than my tongue. So you just kind of learn how to do things proportionately, I should say. Now, realizing that ginger is very potent, so is garlic, and so are red onions. Those are things that obviously would be at the end of the ingredient list. You do know how to read an ingredient list. When you go to the store and they're listing the ingredient that is closest to the word ingredient means that that has the majority of the ratio in the product itself. So when you see something that says sea salt potato chips, you see potatoes and then you see 5 other ingredients and sea salt, it means that that's the smallest ingredient in that particular batch. So be very mindful of that the ingredients are listed according to the proportions that are put in, with the largest proportion being first and the smallest being last. And when we're preparing dishes, your onions, your garlic, and your ginger should be at the end of that list. Okay, so that's just one little tip for you. But for other tips and information, feel free to go to AskDrDallas.com.